The kickoff to Season 8 of the HPT has arrived. Hello all and welcome to the poker tour designed for everyone. This week we launch our 8th season opener at the Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room. This beautiful 50-table poker room hosted hundreds of players, all vying for the six-figure prize that goes with the HPT Championship. As the sun set on day 2, we had our final 6, ready to battle for the championship under the glare of a national television audience. The TV final table now only has a few left, all of whom have the HPT Championship and the top prize of $105,000 right at their fingertips.
Hi, I'm Tony Lay. I'm from Oklahoma City. I play poker professionally.
I'm Joseph Chalbo. I'm 20. I'm from Lake Mary, Florida, and I'm a student.
I am Enos Smith. I have a franchise bumper man business.
Playing pretty much a cash game grinder. I play cash games every week. Play cash, and we play a lot of big money golf matches, so that's pretty much what I do.
The players are super nice. You've got the young that are aggressive.
I guess I'm pretty aggressive. I'm just going to try to choose my spots and hopefully win.
I'm always confident in my skill level. That really is not really an issue. I don't have a lot of experience with these particular guys.
I'm going to do what I've done the whole tournament. I'm just going to be very steady, and I'm going to play the big hands. I'm not going to try to do anything fancy.
They come from all walks of life, each with a story to tell. All they need is a chip and a chair. It's an open casting call for those who love the game. This ain't your weekend home game. This is the HPT.
Sit right down, put on your poker face. You with the big dogs now. Better bring your best game. Talk trash all you want. To me, it's all the same. You won't leave with much when you come in second place. And I'm the one with the stack showing 7 to the jack. Gon' cry to your mama, cause I'm sending you back. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. Last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand.
Hello and welcome back to the HPT from Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room in Daytona Beach, Florida. I'm Chris Hansen. By my side is Fred Bevel. And Fred, once again, as we kick off Season 8 of the HPT, we managed to have no fun out on the road. Between the parties, the betting on the dogs, the poker action, it's been a pretty boring weekend.
Yeah, right. And between all that monotony, we did exciting things like sleep. I tell you what I learned this week. We cannot party like we're 21 anymore, because when you wake up 40, it hurts. The farther your age is from 21, the more it hurts. And at 19 years, my friend, I call uncle.
It's been a full week for us here in Daytona Beach, but we're not done yet. When the cards started flying, the final 6 out of the 277 that entered came out swinging.
And the player with the biggest bat has been Joey Chabald. He's eliminated everyone at this final table so far.
Michael McDonald was the first to leave our final table when he got it all in with Ace-Queen versus Joey's wired jacks. Michael lost the coin flip and went home with a little over 20 grand.
Then it was Barry Hutler who had Ace-Queen going against Joey's Ace-King. The 3-outer didn't hit, and Barry went home with just over $25,000.
Joey's domination continued when all of the chips got in the middle with his wired 10s against Troy Wallace and his suited Jack 8. No help came for Troy, sending him to the rail in 4th place with almost $33,000.
Joey has been playing great, and he's picking up cards. Right now, I'd say it's Joey's tournament to lose.
Well, Fred, let's meet the players that are left at our final table and then get right back to the action.
I'm Joseph Chalbo. I'm 20. I'm from Lake Mary, Florida, and I'm a student.
I am Enos Smith. I have a franchise bumper man business.
Hi, I'm Tony Lay. I'm from Oklahoma City. I play poker professionally. I'm always confident in my skill level. That really is not really an issue. I don't have a lot of experience with these particular guys. There are a few young, aggressive players in the group that, I feel like I've got a little bit of read on them. The older guys generally, they play pretty much ABC, is from what I can understand.
I probably play poker about 3 times a week. I don't really have a job. I'm just a student, so it's definitely a big part of my life. I definitely have some professional aspirations as a poker player. Mainly, well, I always enjoyed playing poker, but last year, or I guess a little bit longer than a year and a half ago maybe, I tore my ACL, so I stopped being able to play sports and stuff. So I started playing a lot more poker because I'm just so competitive. I've been competing my whole life. So
my hobby is I collect rare soda machines. So I have a few in the garage that I'll be restoring. The important thing is not the quantity, it's the rarity. And I have a few that are extremely rare. A soda machine, it's very hard to duplicate. So as a collector, I don't have to worry about, is this the real thing or not? And they're absolutely gorgeous when they first came out. It's like somebody that has a classic car, and he's restored it to however it was when it came out of Detroit. They look pretty good.
Well, it depends on the day. I mean, generally 3 or 4 days a week, I'll get up and go play poker. Go to the casinos. We generally play big pot limit Omaha games. On the off days, I'll make sure I spend it with my wife and kids. But during the weekends, unless I'm out of town playing poker for tournaments, I'm always at home with the family.
I actually bubbled 4 of the qualifiers to get in. If they were paying 4, I'd get 5th or 6th. It was pretty brutal. I was getting sick of it. And then I came here on Friday, day before, while day 1B was going on, and just ran really good at 2-5 and turned 320 into 2400 and then bought in. And I just direct bought, and then it's been running good since then.
It's a great tournament. It's Daytona. When Daytona does something, they do it well, and this is something that they have taken, and they are drawing a lot of people from a lot of places, and it's a big event. It's a big event here in Florida.
Well, anytime you play a big poker tournament, Fred, the big money is in first, second, and third place. We are here with 3 players remaining. First person leaving tonight goes home with $37,000. Our eventual champion walks with $105K.
And here is how these players are stacked right now. Joey has been the chip leader almost this entire final table. Right now he's dominating with 73% of the chips in play. Enos is the short stack, but he's got 26 big blinds left. Plenty of room to play.
All right, we start tonight with blinds at 20 and 40,000 with a 5K ante. This is Enos on the button.
He'll be first.
Enos likes to collect antique soda machines. Joey likes to min raise a lot, and he continues that here with ace-9. Tony Lay is a veteran of our final tables. He made a final table in Oklahoma, hoping to take down his first championship here tonight.
Joey has been very active, and it's been working for him. Ace-9 offsuit gets a raise to 80,000.
And Tony Lay has had enough. He's going to re-raise with Jack-6.
Tony re-raises to 200.
Now that we are short-handed, these players are going to open up their range. And here comes Joey.
If you're going to open up the raise from the play we've seen thus far from these players, especially Joey, that could be pretty much any 2 cards. He has re-raised it to 460,000. And that was enough to get Tony to let go of his Jack-6. And if you're Tony, you got to figure, I know Enos has been playing very conservative at this final table. Really only had 1 big hand. He doubled up fairly early on when we were still 6-handed. Ever since then, Enos has kind of been laying back in the weeds. If you're Tony, I think you got to start to take advantage of that, knowing that Enos isn't going to take any risks. Tony might have to take a couple of extra risks here to move himself up to second place.
Wow, look at you dropping the knowledge.
Stream of consciousness, my friend.
Your brain hurt a little bit?
A little bit. I could use an Excedrin, not going to lie. Joey races with King-9 offsuit to 80,000. Tony calls with Ace-10.
Enos calls the min raise with Jack-10.
3 players.
And here we go, our first flop of the night. It is deuce 4-9 rainbow.
Well, Joey has got top pair here, and I suspect Joey would bet this even if he didn't hit top pair.
And sure enough, here he comes.
He's going to bet 100.
Makes it 125,000 to go. Both players here holding overcards to the board. That might keep them enticed here for another street. Tony declines. And Enos declines as well. Joey just keeps driving the action, and Joey keeps scooping the pots. Good example of Joey's aggressiveness here. Ace-10 in any other circumstance would have re-raised. Tony picked it up, just decided to call with it because he didn't want to open the door for Joey to come back and pounce on him again.
Things are getting a little tighter for Tony and for Enos. Blinds are up to 25 and 50,000. Still the 5K ante.
3 deuce quickly goes into the muck over to Enos. He's got a suited ace.
And he's going to limp in over to Joey.
And Joey says, nah, I'm not a fan of limping in. I'm going to raise it up here. Enos is going to make the call.
Joey is a fan of the min raise. That has been his favorite raise of the night. Enos makes the call, so let's see the flop. It's 8-7-4.
Enos misses and checks. Joey's going to check behind as well.
So now here comes the turn. It's a 9 of clubs. Enos first to act.
Well, Joey picks up a gut shot straight draw here. Also picks up a flush redraw. And Enos is going to see where his ace is at. He's going to fire 50,000 here.
And Joey makes the call, so we'll see a river.
Go ahead and see that. A river card, please.
And the river card is a king of hearts. Enos first with his ace.
And once again, we start with
And Enos looks like he is going to lead out here on the river. Fire 75K, and that's going to make Joey think.
Joey just queen high. I know it's only 75,000, but it's just queen high.
Against a very tight player like Enos, he is going to fold. I got to admit, I thought Joey might have re-raised there just to try to take it down. He's stubborn.
And I got to admit, I didn't think I'd see a play like that coming from Enos. Well played, sir. More poker when we come back to Daytona, Florida, next on the HPT. Welcome back to the HPT at Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room. Fred, when we first started coming down here to Daytona, I knew nothing about dog racing. Now I know that I can lose money doing it. So, I've got that going for me.
All we needed was another gambling vice, right? Joey dominates right now with 75% of the chips in play. It's a battle for second as we speak. 12 and 13% of the chips in play for our 2 short stacks. Blinds are 25 and 50,000 with a 5K ante. Chris, they're going to have to start moving some chips here.
Here comes Enos with King 3 on the button, and he will fold.
King 7 for Joey. Might as well be aces if you're a player like Joey. He's going to raise it to 110,000.
Joey's 20 years old from Lake Mary, Florida. Unemployed except for playing poker.
10 jack suited is the holding for Tony Lay. Made a final table last season on the HPT in Oklahoma. Looking to take down his first championship here tonight.
Call.
He's going to make the call.
Jack 10 of hearts from the big blind makes the call. Tony finished in 6th place at his last time at an HPT final table. And the flop is for King Queen with 2 spades.
Well, once again, Joey hits the flop. He nails top pair, but Tony has an open-ended straight draw. Both players check.
And the turn is a 7 of spades. That gives Joey 2 pair.
Also puts a possible flush on the board. Joey's going to slow down. He checks.
To Tony.
And Tony's going to semi-bluff his open-ended draw here. Bets 250,000.
Back to our chip leader.
How much do you have after that? Like 600, 6. I'm all in.
And Joey moves all in.
Joey just has no respect for the players at this table, zigging and zagging in all the right spots, and he's going to scoop another million-plus chip pot.
And look at the smile on his face. He's like, yeah, I know, this is just way too easy, isn't it? It shouldn't be this easy. He started the final table with 1.5 million in chips, and Fred, he now has well over 50 to 60% of the chips in play.
It's good to be that dominant of a chip leader. You can make plays like that, and even if you're wrong, you're not hurt too bad. He's going to fold 6-9 here over to Tony. He's got connector cards with 6-7.
Obviously, Joey tightening up, folding 6-9 there. That's it's well within his range.
Tony makes the call, and the option to Enos. He decides to check instead of raise with a suited ace.
Go ahead and see a flop, please.
All right, so the two short stacks go heads up. The flop is deuce, 3, 7, 2 clubs.
Well, that gives Enos a gut shot straight draw. Tony hits top pair. It looks like Enos is going to fire here. 125,000.
Come on in.
Tony moves all in. Enos does have Tony covered. But Enos is going to fold, and Tony's going to win a pot. And if you're these two short stacks, looking down at the other end of the table, is there any kneeing under the table saying, hey, listen, it's going to have to be one of us that makes a run. I don't know who's going to take these chips, but someone's got to slow this guy down.
Well, no one likes to see those guys battle more than the chip leader, Joey.
All right, so Tony Lay is going to be first with pocket tens.
He's going to make it 100,000 to go.
We should just retitle this final table as the night of the min raises. I don't think we've seen as many on the HPT as we have here tonight.
Enos is going to make the call from the small blind with king 9, and hey, why not? I'll see a flop with 6-5, says our chip leader.
And here is the problem when the aggressive guy doesn't get aggressive, that being Joey. Now you've got all three players seeing a flop, and you've got pocket tens. And here comes the flop. It is king, 3, queen.
What a flop. Enos flops top pair. He quickly goes all in, and here's Joey's problem. He's got a flush draw, 610,000 to make the call. And Tony's pocket tens aren't worth the plastic they're printed on right now.
So Joey asked for an inventory to find out exactly what the all-in is at 610,000 for Joey to call with this flush draw.
He decides not to call, and Tony can't think his tens are any good right now. He's going to go ahead and muck, and Enos is on a roll.
The winner of the hand is Enos.
Maybe a little surprised there Joey didn't pull the trigger.
Well, 610,000. You double him up. Now he's the guy sitting at almost 1.3 million.
Yeah, and you've still got 5 million sitting in front of you after that.
Good to keep the short stacks short, my friend.
All right. Joey raises here on the button with 8-6 offsuit.
Tony folds. Over to Enos.
I'm all in.
And look at this. Enos again goes all in, this time with pocket kings.
Joey will fold, and Enos, I think, is trying to take the lead in who's playing for second here tonight on the HPT.
If I won $105,000, I'm probably going to give, after taxes I'll get like 80, so I'll probably give a lot of that to my mom. I'll go on like a cruise. I'm going to get a new car, like trade my car in.
No, I'm not a big splurger or spender like that. I'll probably save most of it, maybe buy some knickknacks, shoes, clothes, things like that.
I don't know about frivolous, but we've been looking at new boats, cars, so forth, stuff like that. That's kind of what we was looking at. So if I won the tournament, that would probably be an immediate purchase.
Nothing big, but probably buy a whole lot of sunflower seeds. I like to use sunflower seeds. So.
Tonight we start our 8th year on the HPT here, season number 8, Fred, and nobody yet, when they talk about what they're going to do with the money, ever talks about tipping the hosts. You tip a host at a restaurant, don't you?
Yeah, well, we're a bit different. Hosts are right most of the time.
We're wearing ill-fitting suits, isn't that about right? All right, back to our final table, three-handed.
You saw in the latest chip count right there, it is still all Joey. Tony here is the new short stack, under $1 million in chips right now, and he is going to call with the Dolly Parton hand, 9-5.
Fred, let's be honest. We all know Dabney Coleman was the star of that movie. Let's now call it the Dabney Coleman. Can we give the man his due?
Nope, it's the Dolly Parton. Enos is going to go ahead and call with 6 deuce. Joey's going to check his option with the suited king 3. Dabney Coleman, really?
We'll agree to disagree. Here is the flop. It is queen, ace, 4, rainbow.
Oh, look, it's the Lily Tomlin.
No, Dabney Coleman does work a lot better. Tony bets 100,000. Enos folds, so now we're over to Joey.
And we are over to Keep One Joe.
And Joey's just not believing it. King 3 is his holding. He has no pair. He has no draw. But he does have chips, and he's going to raise it to 235,000. And Tony, the original aggressor of this hand, has to back down and give Joey yet another $500,000 chip pot.
More smiles from Joey. What's not to be happy about? Joey's got a bunch of people in the audience, including his mom, Jane, watching him play here at our final table.
Jane Fonda was in 9 to 5.
Would you let it go, sir? Back to Joey. He's going to make it 100K with 8-9 offsuit. Over to Tony, 10-5 of diamonds. Will the bleeding continue? Indeed it will.
Tony and Joey going heads up into this flop, and Tony does look a little frustrated.
Let's go ahead and see the flop, please.
And here we go. The flop is 7-9-6.
That's a good flop for Joey. He has an open-ended straight draw to go with top pair. Tony has a gut shot straight draw. He's hoping to find an 8.
Tony goes all in, and Joey calls the 615,000 chip all in. Well, Joey is ahead, but Tony's not dead yet, Fred.
Well, he's drawing to only 3 outs. Joey's holding one of the 8s.
The turn is a 4 of diamonds.
And the only thing that's going to save Tony now is a 3 or an 8 on the river.
No 3, no 8, right?
Go ahead and see the river card, please.
And the river is a deuce. That's going to do it for Tony Lay. His second trip to a final table. Fred, he's getting better. 6th place last season on the HPT at his final table. This time he walks away in 3rd place.
Joe, the kid in the 1 seat, he seems to be very good and very aggressive. A lot better than what I gave him credit for to start the table. I knew he was good, but I didn't really. Of course, when the deck hits you in the face, it makes you look a lot better on. And for the first hour and a half, 2 hours, the deck just runs smooth over him, and he'll be the first to tell you that. Run good's half of it, play good's the other half.
Well, it's no secret that Joey is our chip leader, 88% of the chips in play. So if you're Enos, are you going to sit around and wait for premium cards, or Fred, do you just want to get all the chips in the middle now and let's see what happens?
It's tough to say. Heads Up Poker's a totally different beast here. I got to put the smart money on Joey. He's been driving the action all night long. No need to stop now. Enos is very tight. He's definitely going to have to open up his range.
In the 1, he's now moved to the 2 for this showdown.
And here we go. It's a raise with King 6 to 125,000.
Well, keep this in mind. Every decision that is made could be a 50K plus decision for Enos. That's roughly the difference between 1st and 2nd place here tonight on the HPT.
Enos is going to go ahead and call the raise from Joey with Queen 7. Our first heads up flop a-coming.
Here we go. Flop is 7-Ace-3.
Enos gets the best of this. He flops a pair, and he's going to get them all in the middle. Joey quickly folds, and I think that's going to be Enos's MO here, Chris. The less decisions he has to make, the better.
I think we found out what his mindset's going to be. It's not waiting for premium hands there. He went all in when he hit middle pair with an ace on the board. Let's just get the chips in the middle. Right now, I want to double up quick. Enos limps in with 8-5 offsuit. Joey checks his option with suited 8-10. And here is the flop at 6-4-10. Joey pounds the board yet again, flopping top pair.
Enos has a gut shot straight draw.
They're both checking. Here comes the turn. It's a deuce of diamonds.
Well, now Joey's got a flush draw to go with his top pair. Enos picks up more outs as well. Now he's got a double belly buster draw. He'll be hoping for a 3 or a 7 on the river.
75,000.
And with that many outs and that size of a bet, why not see a river?
Go ahead and see the turn card.
And the river is a 4, so Enos misses his straight. Joey's got the best hand with a pair of 10s.
Joey hoping to get a little value out of this with 100,000 bet on the river, and Enos says, nope, I missed. Enjoy my chips.
Heads up playing for 105,000 and the first HPT championship of Season 8. More Heads Up Poker when we come back on the HPT. Welcome back to the HPT from Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room in Daytona Beach, Florida. With Fred Bevel, I'm Chris Hansen. Season 8 of the HPT welcomes Phil Hellmuth to the show. It's a good get. 11-time bracelet winner tonight is going to tell us a thing or two that he knows about going heads up in a poker tournament.
Great situation. You're heads up. You're gonna either be the champion or you're gonna finish in 2nd place. Either way, you're putting a big wad of cash in your pocket. This is a good position to be in. But 2nd place, I can tell you after 3 seconds at the series in 2011, not as much fun. You want the title, man. Everybody wants the title. You get to hold that trophy up, all the pictures, all the glory. Nobody remembers who finishes in second place. Well, I guess I remember last year. But anyway, you talk about opening it up three-handed. Now you really have to go with your instincts. You're going to have to take flops with some weaker hands. Jack 5 suited, you may re-raise with that hand. You may call with that hand. I've won titles before where it's come Queen 4-3, and I've had 10-3 suited, and I bet out and got raised big, and I just decided, you know what? My opponent's going to show me a deuce. He's been showing me a deuce every time he bluffed. Something doesn't feel right. I'm going to ship my whole mountain of chips. Boom! He snap folds. What did I do? I put in my whole stack with bottom pair, trusting my instincts. So now you might have to stick it all in a draw. You might have to put it all in with Queen Jack before the flop. Trust your instincts. That's what's going to get you the title. Play aggressively, but trust your instincts. And it may come down where you have Jack 5 and it comes Jack 10 deuce. And now something doesn't feel right on the other side. You're like, wait a minute. I somehow know he has me beat. You better be sure if you're going to fold top pair when your head's up. But if you're sure and you can fold it, then you're dodging bullets, baby.
Let's take a look at how Enos is doing in this heads-up battle in David versus Goliath. Pretty much where he started the heads-up battle, Fred, just under $1 million in chips.
11% of the chips in play, down to 19 big blinds. He's looking to double up or go home here quick, I think.
25, 50K are the blinds. 5K is the ante.
Hey, there's a hand you want to see.
That'll work. Pocket nines for Enos. Enos just limps in with his pocket nines, hoping the more aggressive Joey's going to do his work. And sure enough, Joey does. He goes all in. Enos calls with the pocket nines. And Fred, the tournament might come down to this for Joey and Enos.
Lace up your shoes. We got a race on our hands, my friend. The wired nines of Enos going against the best drawing hand in the game.
They are walking the dogs out to the gate here at the dog track. Here goes the flop is 10, ace, 4 with 2 diamonds. Joey is ahead with a pair of aces.
Not a good flop for Enos at all. He falls way behind here, hoping to find one of the last 2 nines in the deck. Oh, wow!
Well, Enos is not done yet with his set of nines. Joey is drawing dead on the river, so he's going to double up and now have just under $2 million in chips.
Just like that. You start the hand with $940,000. Now you've got over $1.8 million in your stack. Got ourselves a heads-up match now. Blinds remain at 25 and 50,000 with a 5,000 chip ante. Enos off a fresh double up.
And Joey first act with 8-9. 125K is the bet. Over to Enos.
Enos is going to make the call with just 6-3.
And here comes the flop. It is Jack deuce deuce.
No help for either player here. Right now, Joey ahead with just 9 high. Enos looks like he's going to bet, and that's not going to work out for him. I think Joey's going to see right through that.
125K is Enos's bet.
340.
I was right. He is going to re-raise it to 340,000.
And now back to Enos, 215,000. He quickly releases his hand, and Joey picks up where he left off before that double up, just raking chips.
Well, Enos had a plan for that hand, just didn't work out for him. You don't really want to call pre-flop and then lead out on a paired board like that. It just stinks of something not right. Joey sniffed it out and did the re-raise and took down the pot.
Joey raising again with 9-5 of spades to 125,000. It's pocket jacks for Enos.
9-5, the newly named Dabney Coleman by my partner.
I think it fits.
Really doesn't.
But come on, let's get it going. Let's get it going.
I like Dolly. Dolly Parton's hot. Sure, she's 70. She's hot.
Enos re-raises to 350,000 and takes down the pot.
Seriously, you don't think Dolly Parton's hot?
Let's just concentrate on the poker, shall we?
You think Dabney Coleman's hot?
Enos Smith, 58 years old from Palm Coast, Florida. Joey is 20 years old from Lake Mary, Florida. One thing I've discovered from my time here in Florida is everything has a beach, a palm, a coast, or a lake in the name. Except for Orlando or Daytona, but there's Daytona Beach. Anyways.
Moving on.
Now you want to move on. The flop is 10, deuce, 8, rainbow.
This is a fun flop. Joey hits second pair. Enos has got a gut shot straight draw, hoping to find a jack.
Joey bets 75K. Enos calls. And the turn is another 8, and now Joey's got trip 8s.
And Joey's going to try to get a trap going. Enos not going to fall for it here.
And the river, a 4. Joey, first act.
Good thing for Enos, it wasn't a queen. Joey's going to try to get some value here. 150 on the river. Enos has nothing. He's going to release. We had a great time here at our Season 8 launch, and so did the players. Earlier today, we caught up with the players to tell us what they thought of their HPT experience.
Well, they've improved the structure a lot since the last HPT I played. I went deep in the last one here in Daytona Beach, and since then I just noticed the tournament structures got way better, so I'll definitely be interested in playing future HPTs for that reason.
It's definitely been a great experience with HPT. I like the structure. I like everything about it so far. This would be my favorite poker memory. This is definitely the biggest tournament I've played in.
Everybody's been friendly. The staff here has been friendly. Everybody's taken care of it well. Haven't really had any complaints at all. So,
like the event, I like the way it's run. I targeted that for a good long weekend.
Super excited. Everybody here has been super friendly, as they always are in Daytona. It's a great tournament. I'd recommend it to anybody.
Well, besides Enos's double up, heads up action has been where the rest of this final table has been, all going Joey's way. More heads up poker for $105K when we come back. Welcome back to the HPT at Daytona Beach Kennel Club and Poker Room in Daytona Beach, Florida. Fred Bevel, I'm Chris Hansen. And Fred, there's a lot more than poker that's going on here. Obviously, it's a dog track as well, so they got some racing that goes on. And we thought it might be fun to take you behind the curtain to show you a day in the life of one of these racing dogs.
Hello, my name is Lance Lafreniere. I'm the owner and trainer of Soul Runner Racing here at Daytona Beach Kennel Club. I'd like to take you through a day of a greyhound's life in a racing circuit here at Daytona Beach Kennel Club. His name is Wiki Happy Feet. Is a dog I'd like to talk about. He's in the feature race tonight at Daytona Beach. He's in the 4th race, the 6-hole position, and this is how his day begins. Well, the first thing we do is we unload him out of the truck. We walk him if he needs to relieve himself, and we find his tag on the tag board for the race he's in, clip it to his collar, and then we wait in line, and then we put him across the scale to verify his weight status, that it's legal in the eyes of the racing committee. There's a 1.5 pound leeway, either up or down, and they have to fall in between that range. And then he walks through to go to his crate inside the ginny pit, where he's located before his race starts. Greyhounds are quite amazing animals. They, in a lot of respects, they're the 2nd fastest land animal on Earth, second only to the cheetah. Greyhound, in 3 strides, the greyhound can reach a speed of 43 miles per hour. By watching them on the track with the naked eye, it's hard to see planting of the feet on the ground, but actually, in slow-mo, you will see that at every stride, all paws are fully extended as each stride is produced. After the race, the lead-outs will gather the dogs in the escape turn where they stop, and they'll then be walked off the track. I will then take him, bathe him, clean his eyes if he has any sand in his eyes, trim his nails if it needs to be done, walk him out, cool him, give him water. That's about it, and I'll wait for the next one to come. Today, we talked about Wiki Happy Feet and a day in the life in the greyhound racing career, and he ran 4th tonight. He had a little bump in the first turn, but he recovered and came back nicely. That's his style. He gets in trouble and keeps coming back.
Here's the latest chip count at our final table. Joey with just under 6 million in chips, and Enos, after that double up, still has 2.3 million in front of him. Fred, this is a great area of Florida. If you actually get up on top of our hotel, you can actually see the ocean. Just down the street here from the racetrack, we've got the racetrack, the Daytona Motor Speedway.
Joey's going to make it $125,000 to go with ace-9. And look at this. Enos, with the same hand, is going to make the call. We saw in the last chip count that Enos now has 48 big blinds. This could take a while, Chris.
10-10-4 is our flop. Enos is going to check.
Both players missed this flop. Joey's not one to check, though. He's going to fire out $150,000. And look at this. Enos doing something we haven't seen him do here tonight.
Enos is grabbing the 50,000 chip plaques and makes it $350,000. Back to Joey.
And Joey looking for an inventory on Enos' stack here.
After that bet, it is just under $2 million in chips that Enos has in front of him.
1.8.
1 million. Joey re-raises to $1 million.
Just saying it sounds huge.
I didn't see that coming. I thought when Enos re-raised on the flop, we haven't seen him do that all night. Joey would shrivel up and fold. Not the first time I've been wrong on this show, as you know. He pops it.
And it won't be the last tonight.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Big Player of the Year points on the line here tonight. Also big money, $105,000 going to our eventual HPT champion here in Daytona.
A new Player of the Year program on the HPT this year as well.
Flop is 10, queen, 5, 2 clubs.
The Player of the Year will receive main event buy-ins plus hotel.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
The turn is a 3 of hearts. Even more reason for you to join us out on the HPT in your backyard.
75.
Well, not literally in your backyard unless you do have a casino in your backyard, which would be pretty cool.
That would be. Both players playing here with draws and gumption.
The river pairs the board. It's another 3. So who's got the most gumption here, Fred?
Well, it looks like Joey is doing the staging right now, and he's going to fire $125,000.
If by gumption you mean betting chips, then yes, indeed, Joey does have the gumption. And even though Enos had the better hand there on the river, Joey is going to win this hand.
Joey is really playing beyond his years. He's not even 21 years old, for crying out loud, only 20 years old. Good thing for him is he will turn 21 this year, so he can join us at the Championship Open if he holds on to take this down.
Find it interesting that Enos only has $120 invested in this tournament, now playing for over $100,000. Another limped pot. The flop is 6, Jack, 9 with 2 spades. Both players check. Here comes the turn.
Joey has a gut shot straight draw.
The turn is an ace.
And now Enos hits top pair and checks it over to the aggressor. He's going to bet 150. Let's see if Enos smooth calls this or if he's going to pounce. Smooth call it is.
Besides the one big double up that Enos had, he hasn't been able to get large amounts of chips in any other hand. Enos checks the river. And now back to Joey.
And the fact that Enos called that turn bet when it came an ace isn't slowing him down at all. Looks like Joey's going to be staging some more chips. And he fires $210,000. It's going to be tough to get an ace to fold heads up with that kind of a bet, and he is going to make the call. And Joey knows he's beat.
He just mucks. He doesn't even take a look at the hand. And Enos finally takes a pot off of Joey that he didn't have to get all the chips at risk. More poker when we come back on our way to a new HPT champion, the first for Season 8, when we come back. Thanks for coming back to the HPT. Not much of a race here, Fred. We've got one clear leader that's out in front of the rest of the dogs. That would be Joey. But Enos did double up. He's been able to hold on to those chips. Just took a nice pot before we took a break. And right now, 28% of the chips in play, 47 big blinds. So it's not panic time if you're Enos.
Far from it. The important number there, my friend, was 47. That's the amount of big blinds he has. Plenty of room to play.
All right, back to the action. Enos has deuce 4. And he's going to call. And a raise from Joey, king 10 of hearts. Another min raise.
And Enos is going to make the call.
And here comes the flop. It is Jack 7, 8.
Neither player pairs this flop, but Joey picks up a gut shot straight draw.
Both of them are checking, so we'll see the turn. It's a 10. Now Joey's got a pair of 10s.
Enos still with just 4 high. He's not going to invest any money in this.
Drawing dead on the river, matter of fact. And here it is. The river is a 6. Joey's going to be first. He will check. Enos is betting the only way he could win this hand.
And that might make Joey think a little bit here. Enos betting on the river. Not really something Enos has done a lot tonight.
Call me crazy, but call just for information?
That's exactly what he's doing. He does make the call, and Enos just mucks. Not going to show what he had.
All right, so you don't get the information, but you do get the chips. A small parting gift here for playing that hand.
Well, you saw Joey's face. He was a little confused, didn't really understand what that bet meant. And, you know, they always say a confused player is going to call you a lot more than a scared player is.
Enos starts the next hand with Queen 10 on the button and limps. And I was going to say, let me guess, here comes the min raise from Joey, absolutely.
It has been the standard. Enos is going to limp, Joey's going to raise, Enos is going to call. So Enos kind of in pot control mode here.
And here comes the flop. It is 10, King, 8 with 2 spades.
And this flop could be action, Chris. Enos flops a pair of 10s. Joey's got the nut flush draw and a pair of 8s.
Joey bets $175K. Comes the call from Enos as this pot now balloons to $660,000.
Surprised Enos didn't raise there. Defend against the flush draw. If you have a pair, heads up. A lot of times that's gold.
And the turn comes in for Joey. It's a 5 of spades.
Joey with the stone cold nuts right now.
$230K is the bet from Joey with his nut flush.
And unfortunately for Enos, Chris, he has just enough of this to stay in there.
Oh, boy.
He makes the call.
For Enos' sake, I hope there's one more spade that comes on the river. Otherwise, Enos might give him more chips. The river is a 3.
And Enos, with his pair of 10s, is dead. Joey trying to get some more value out of this.
600.
And that's a good bet. 1.2 in the pot. He fires 600 at it. A half pot bet.
Boy, I don't know how Enos feels about second pair now.
Again, this is where being the aggressor is a good thing in poker. It will get you paid when you have these kind of hands.
Ooh, Enos makes the call.
Joey shows the nuts and is going to scoop a huge pot worth over $2.3 million in chips.
Up until that call on the river, Enos was playing about as perfect a heads-up match as you can against somebody who's got a huge chip lead.
Well, he is really in trouble now. He went from well over 40 big blinds to about 15 big blinds. He's kind of where we were when we started this heads-up match, except the blind's a little bit bigger. Not a lot of room for him here.
Enos limps in with 9-10 of hearts. Joey checks with 8-3 offsuit. And here comes the flop. It is 8, King, Queen.
Well, Joey hits a pair of 8s here. Enos again with a gut shot straight draw.
They both check. The turn is a 7. Joey checks.
Enos goes all in. The 7 gives him an open-ended straight draw. He's trying to put pressure on Joey, and woo, this isn't an easy call for Joey. He'd love to put the nail in the coffin right now, but he'd hate to double Enos up as well.
He makes the call.
And he's going to like what he sees. He's ahead, but he needs to fade a 6, a 9, a 10, or a jack to be the next HPT champion.
He's got like 20%, I think, 18. He's got like 18%.
So here we go. The river is an ace, and that's going to do it. Joey is going to end up winning this HPT championship. Fred, what a call on the turn. I don't know why he did it, but I have a feeling in just a moment we're going to find out why he made that call on the turn. Congratulations to Joey, our first champion of HPT season number 8.
Except for the huge mistake when he had a flush, I felt good. Even the last play, I felt good. It's just like I say, when he had the flush, that was a huge mistake. He and I play a lot together, so we're familiar with each other. Had a lot of chips to overcome. Can't wait for the next time.
All right, Enos, thank you very much for playing our final table here today. And Fred, it was all about Joey. I mean, his tread marks are all over the backs and all over the chairs and table here at this final table. He ran everyone over on his way to a $105,000 payday.
And he is the first champion in Season 8. Let's go back down to the floor and hear what Joey has to say about being the newest HPT champion.
I thought that everyone at the table played fine. I just got really hot, and I won pretty much every hand that I couldn't lose if I had tried. I just ran really good, to be honest. They didn't really have a chance to play. It was fun. It was a good ride.
Fred, it's not all that often that a player will eliminate all 5 players on the HPT on the way to their championship, but that's exactly what Joey did. So congratulations, $105,000. Kind of like pitching a no-hitter in baseball. I mean, everyone stepped up to the plate, and he just knocked him right out of the park.
He played a great game.
Way to go, Joey. All right, now, do you think you've got what it takes to make one of our final tables? Well, we'd love to see you this season on the HPT. Go to hptpoker.com to find out about our upcoming events. For James Larson and Fred Bevel, I'm Chris Hansen. We'll see you next time right here on the HPT.